Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Action Movie Guys podcast, episode 469. We're up to the third film of the Axel Foley franchise. We're up to Beverly Hills Cop 3 from 1994. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
All right, Nate.
Well, you guys know who's here. He's here again. He's just been here, and he's here again. And it's our intern, Evan. Evan, say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
There you go. There he is, and he's joining us for 3 more episodes after this as well. So the intros will get shorter and shorter.
Yeah, so this movie I've seen plenty of times. This is the first time watch for Nate. Evan, this is the first time watch for you?
I have 2 funny stories about this. One, it's famous in my family because I wanted to see Casper the Friendly Ghost, that movie that came out, rated G, whatever. My dad goes, I'm not taking you to see a friendly ghost movie because of our religious beliefs. It's like, what the heck? So we went and saw a rated R movie, Beverly Hills Cop 3 instead. I was like, yeah, that's the good Christian thing to do. Let's not see the G movie. Let's go to the R movie. But we really wanted to go see this one because it was filmed at Great America, San Jose, which is literally about an hour and a half away. Oh. And while they were filming it, my dad took me to try to see them and get in and be an extra while they're doing it. We couldn't get in. It was already packed. But we were like, it's really weird watching this movie because I know like all the landmarks they changed, all like that Ferris wheel in the beginning. I've been on that so many times. Like this is like, well, we all went growing up. So that's kind of the trick there. So, but yeah, I've seen it many times as a kid. Okay. This is my first time I think I've watched since I've turned like over 20.
Since you become a man.
That's still debatable. But.
Since you become a guy. You were just a wee boy. You saw it.
All right. So with that said, let's see how they did on the box office. So budget-wise, it did $50 million. Worldwide, $119 million. So what do you guys think?
I mean, what was the budget?
$50 million.
Okay, so if you go by 2.5 times, it didn't really make a lot. If you go by 2 times, it did. But yeah, it was obviously Paramount was not happy because there's not another one of these movies until the new one that came out last year.
Yeah.
Also, when the first one made over 300 million and the second one made 300 million, 119 is kind of a big drop. So now having, I mean, not great. Not great, especially when you're coming off 300 million, 119. It's a pretty big fall.
What do you think, Evan?
Do we know what the numbers were in the United States? Like, was it mostly?
Oh, domestic, it was 42 million and international 76.
So it did worse here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was thinking that budget was going to be morally foreign money because I don't remember this movie doing really well at all.
And this was the first one with no Jerry Bruckheimer or Don Simpson producing. They said, no, we're not doing
And the director is famous for Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yeah, John Landis. Well, no, he's famous for
Blues Brothers.
Yeah, he did a lot of 80s movies.
Blues Brothers, American Werewolf in London.
Animal House.
And Michael Jackson.
Yeah. So John Landis is a big director. And he's the one that had the controversy because he's the one, if I believe, did a
Twilight
film
Zone
that it cut the guy and the kid's head off with the helicopter blade. Yeah.
It chopped off Vic Morrow's head and it killed the kid in that segment in Twilight Zone.
Yes, that's what it was, Twilight Zone. Yes, that was the movie. And then they were trying to put in, he was trying to get it. It was like this whole controversy thing.
It was bad.
Yeah, he should have been in prison, but a lot of laws and everything, like, it's just bad. But yeah.
And I heard him and Eddie Murphy did not get along on this movie at all.
I can see that.
Yeah. I can see.
This is like Blade Trinity when he hated the director and would only pass him notes and say, call me Blade or whatever he was.
Call me Blade.
Because I read they didn't have a full-on script and that they were hoping Eddie Murphy was going to bring Eddie Murphy to the table. And Eddie Murphy, why am I being paid to write the script? I'm not being paid as a script writer. So therefore, it was like a whole debacle of what I was reading.
I also saw that after this, that budget of 50 million, 15 of it was Eddie Murphy. He made 15 million for this movie. So that means there was only 35 for everything else. And also I had read after the fact that, like the script thing, the reason they wanted to bring back Taggart and Bogomil or whatever.
Yeah.
And Ronnie Cox, they asked him, hey, you know what happened? And he said, I read the script. He decided not to come back.
I read the script.
That was the only quote. Yeah, that was the whole quote. I read the script.
Oh,
So
wow.
That was kind of funny.
That's all right. Well, that's bad. But let's see what the critics and audience have to say about this movie.
Lord, it's not good. Now,
Lord,
listen, this is okay. I'm going to do like I always do. I'm going to give you the numbers and how much it dropped from the last movie.
Okay.
But I'm going to go back to the first one just to really show something. So this one dropped with the critics from the last movie, 37%. Now, I don't know if you remember, but it already wasn't very high for that second movie. So that means this has an 11% critics is the Rotten Tomatoes score. 11.
Wow.
Audiences, it dropped 23%. Down to a 35. So 11 and 35. Now that's compared to the last movie, but the original, if you remember, had 82% for both. So if you're comparing to that movie, this is a 71% drop as far as the positive reviews for the critics. So normally I do like to just do it from the last movie to this one just to kind of get an idea. But if you want to go back from 1 to 3, the gap is like
huge,
gigantic.
Yeah. That's big. That's big.
Yeah.
One, it's horrible. It's really bad. And you know what? I think this is the first movie that we did on the Action Movie Guys podcast that the third movie just drops like, a nosedive from part 1 and 2.
In the sense of not only critically, but box office. I don't think we've done one where both just like nosedived off a cliff. I think we've seen some where the the scores may have come down, but it still made money. Or vice versa. Maybe the reviews stayed good, but it made less. But I can't remember one where it was like the third one, everyone hated it, and it made way less than the other two.
No, you're right. Evan, anything?
The only thing I'm thinking is, why did they make it? Like, I'm trying to figure out what was the cause, because if they're struggling with script, they're struggling to get their main actors back. Like, what was the driving factor to make the film? Like, was the studio just hoping name value? Were they poor? I don't know what the studio was doing, but like, I just have a whole bunch of questions as we talk. Like, why did they actually make it? Like, it wasn't old enough to bring back the nostalgia or whatever that word is, but you get what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I just think the franchise name alone would drive people to the theater.
We have two big hits that didn't have big budgets. I also read that this sat in development hell for a while. Like, it was not supposed to come out in 94 or whatever. Like, they started working on it sooner. And they were going to send him to London. They were going to send him to New York. Like, they had all these ideas. He was going to be with John Cleese, with a Scotland Yard person. And it was going to be, like almost like a Rush Hour before Rush Hour. And all of those fell through. And Eddie Murphy said, I don't want to do a part 3. He said, there's no reason for Axel Foley to keep getting sent to Beverly Hills. He said, but if I do a part 3, you'll know I made a lot of money. And then a couple years later, here we are. And he made $15 million for this movie. So
that's a lot. That is a lot. All right, let's get right into the review. All right, so lead character Axel Foley's back. Rosewood is back. Taggart is not back, and Ronnie Cox is not back. So with that said, take it away, Evan. What did you think of the lead characters?
I think out of how many podcasts I've done with you guys, this is the biggest drop I've had for a lead character. He's down to a 2. I thought Eddie Murphy, Axel Foley, came off as annoying. He was not charming. Like, anytime he's trying to be charming, like when he's trying to charm the girl who does the ride stuff, like, it's just everything. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel like he's happy to be there. And so I think in the drama from the movie making is spilling over in the movie itself. And I know we're not like always supposed to talk about like Eddie Murphy, but Axel Foley, like, even when he's looking like he's trying to have fun, he doesn't look like he's having fun. So I did not like him at all. I didn't remember this movie being this annoying with Eddie Murphy as a kid, but I wasn't like analytically watching it. But I was very disappointed. I thought I was actually as a childhood, I remember liking this one better than 2. But so I gave him a 2 just because he seemed annoying throughout the whole movie.
All right. What do you got there, Nate?
Now, I want everyone to know, like Alex said at the top, I've never seen this movie. This is brand new. So I'm like, I know everyone keeps saying it stinks, but I like it. Maybe I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe they're wrong. So with the lead character, not wrong. I agree with Evan. I gave him a 2. I do agree. We like to score the character as written the performance is usually just like a note, right? Like, okay, this guy didn't play this that great, but it is an interesting character. This one's hard because I just feel like Axel Foley is Eddie Murphy. There's not a lot of difference between like the two. Like, it's not really acting is kind of what I'm getting at. Like, he's just sort of doing his shtick.
Yeah.
But his name in this movie is Axel Foley. And he's acted in a ton of other movies, like full on. Like, if you're talking about like Coming to America, he's playing a character in that. Multiple characters. The Nutty Professor, he's playing. Here, it seems like it's Eddie Murphy with a Detroit Lions jacket, and they call him Axel Foley. So in that way, I agree with Evan. Like, it's hard to like separate. And Eddie Murphy looks like he's phoned this in from long distance. He's not even, he doesn't look remotely like he's having a good time. He doesn't look like he's having any fun. Even the beginning, like when the chief dies in his arms, I mean, nothing. It seems like he didn't, he's like, no, man, no, come on, man. No, like he's not even really, it's bad. And there were some moments in the other movies. You remember like with the girl in the hospital where it's like awkward?
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't even awkward. It was just like, it didn't even seem like it bothered him that much. So I did not like him. It adds nothing to his character. You don't have the trifecta of him and Rosewood and Taggart. You just have Rosewood and now the guy from Pretty Woman, who's like a fill-in for Taggart pretty much.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to bounce off of. He's by himself a lot for this movie. And I don't know, a love interest, they added that, but and it was freaking Martin Lawrence's wife from Bad Boys. So there's that.
Yeah, that's true.
But 2 for me. I think it's bad.
Yeah, I didn't like him in this movie. I gave him a 1.
Oh,
I thought the character, first of all, I thought the character was lame. There was no funny moment. I can't think of a funny moment in this movie. If you go, hey, give me that one funny moment, I can't even go, yeah, this is the moment that I think is funny. It's not. It felt like one of the Bruce Willis movies that we covered that he did not give a shit and he got a paycheck. I forgot what, was it Death Wish? I think it was Death Wish. Was it Death Wish?
He was chilling in Death Wish.
Yeah, it looked like he was just cruising on. Like, I got my millions. I'm just going to give you semi 20% of my acting. Like, that's what I felt like. Eddie Murphy was not having fun. And you could tell he was not having. You could tell a movie when Eddie Murphy's having fun is when he's he's laughing on screen. And you go, man, that looked like an ad-lib moment that he's having with the character. Even when they had my boy Ackwell, and we call him Ackwell.
Yeah.
That part.
Serge.
Yes, Serge. You could see he was, because they worked together, so you could see he had like the smirk, like when he was talking. But after that, it was just like, there was no, I don't know, I didn't feel it with the character. Like, even the moments when him and George Lucas came on screen together and he kicked him off the Ferris wheel, and I was just like, doesn't feel right. There's something off about this movie. And you're right, when they killed the boss, I get it. He was just like, no. And he was like, Axel, what are you doing, man? Are you in the coffee break? Go get this son bitch. And I was just like, what is going on here? And then he go, like, I didn't like it. And then they had a stupid, was it FBI agents?
No, Secret Service.
Secret Service, yeah.
Secret Service.
Yeah.
I thought it was dumb. I thought it was stupid. So I gave him a 1. I didn't feel it from Eddie. So I gave him a 1.
Yeah, and real quick, you mentioned the the George Lucas cameo. So this movie had a ton of cameos from film directors, like other film directors. Arthur Hiller was a person that was in the bar. You had John Singleton. Remember, he was one of the firefighters.
Yes.
You had Ray Harryhausen, who was also in the bar with Arthur Hiller. The Sherman Brothers. That's for Evan.
You had one Sherman brother, and then they wrote the song.
Yes. Well, yes. The other Sherman brother was in it, but in a deleted scene. He was a band leader, and his scene got deleted. So,
and it's funny. They hated each other, so they were brothers, but they hated each other. But they would write songs, and the fact that his scene got cut supposedly was used against him threw him over.
Probably tried to kill his brother right then.
They literally stopped. Supposedly, they didn't speak to each other and didn't write another song for years because of that.
Yeah. So a bunch of random cameos, but like none of them mean anything. It was just like John
and
Landis
they're all
said,
in San Jose.
Yeah, y'all are all my friends. You want to come on the set real quick and like shoot something?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty bad. But all right, so we gave it 2 across the board with 1, which is me. That was a number 1 there. But let's get to main villain. Now, main villain here, the guy that works in Wally World.
Ellis DeWald is his name.
Ellis DeWald was played by Timothy Carhart.
Correct.
That's the actor. There we go. So, Nate, take it away. What did you think of Ellis DeWalt?
No, I didn't like him. I gave him a 1. Look, this is a bad villain, okay? In a series that I don't even feel like has strong villains, he's still the worst out of the 3. He is okay, let's get this straight. This is stuff we find out in the movie. He's a former police officer who turns head of security for a theme park that has security like it's a freaking, like a Navy base or something. Like there's something important. They got like secret tunnels and technology and all this stuff, okay? He's a former cop turned head of security for a theme park who moonlights, okay, as a counterfeiter. Does counterfeit money. That's his big crime syndicate is counterfeit money. Did not like him. I don't like the actor. I didn't like the way he looked. I didn't even like looking at him. I was like, this guy's face is annoying. He's super punchable. I mean, I guess that's good if you're going to have a villain that you want to punch him in the face. Uninteresting. I mean, the worst villain, I think. He's worse than the art dealer guy from the first movie. He's the worst. Yeah, I gave him a 1. I didn't like him. The only thing he did, and I give him a little credit. He shot the
Uncle
chief.
Dave?
Yep. He shot the chief and he shot Uncle
Dave. Yeah.
Both. Yeah. I mean, both point blank. So he's evil, but I don't like his crime. I don't think he's that tough, really. No. He always has a bunch of guys with him, and that's the only reason he could do anything. So, yeah, I gave him 1. I didn't really like him.
Okay. All right. What you got, Evan? What do you think of Ellis DeWalt?
I agree with what Nate said, but I went a little different with it. So I was going to, because I've given a 2 for the last 2. I was going to keep it a 2, but I decided to give him an extra point because this villain actually killed people. Oh. Like we actually saw him actually be evil instead of just people talking about how evil he is. And then maybe at the end he picks up a gun. Like that's what we kind of had. So I was going to keep it a 2. He got a bonus credit for actually doing some crime. And we saw it on screen and we saw it on screen early. We saw him do a couple other crimes. So I have no disagreements with Nate. I just scored it a little bit differently. So he got a 3 for me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I gave him a 2, but the extra point was what made him to a 2 because it was a 1, but I gave him the point for the 2 because he did kill the boss. And then he did mock Eddie Murphy when he was getting the award. So I was like, okay. And then he did shoot Uncle Dave, the main guy. So other than that, like this is a lame duck as a villain. Did not like him. I didn't like the villain at all. I thought he was kind of weak. But yeah, I think they could have did a way better job with the villain department. So anyway, with that said, action sequences, Evan.
Well, you know how much I loved part 2 of action, which I did not.
Yeah.
I hated this even more. It was, I don't even know, like when they're jumping around the Ferris wheel and that's supposed to be action, the car chase with half it broken, we're supposed to laugh and it wasn't funny. And the FBI stopping or the Secret Service stopping like at what point how is that windshield bulletproof? Because how did Eddie, like literally there's gun holes in front of him and he just pushes it over. I'm like, yeah, you're dead, buddy. It doesn't make sense. I don't even know. There's like, when he's in the tunnels, there's definitely a scene where he throws a punch and it does not land, but the guy falls anywhere. It's like, it's not even filmed correctly for any kind of up close action that we do get. I think the most action that was enjoyable was them riding that stupid lame ride with the aliens attacking, and that was even lame. I gave it a 1. I did not like any of the action aspects of this, and so
that's mad tough. That's
spicy.
Very rough and tough. All right.
You know what's funny too? That scene, it's clearly something I've been on. That's Earthquake from Universal Studios.
Universal, yeah.
I love that because we don't have it anymore here. I know it's still part of the tram tour out there, but Florida, we don't even have that. So it did bring back some nostalgia for me, seeing the truck come down and he's like, he went that way. And then the water comes down. All right, this might be controversial. I disagree. I thought the action was actually good in this movie. I would say it's the only thing in this movie I liked. Mm-hmm. I think the beginning shootout is quite good, personally. The one in the garage. Yeah. I liked it. Like these guys show up, you don't really know who they are, and they're just like busting fools up, shooting them up close, machine guns, killing them, blood. These guys, the cops show up, they're shooting back. I liked it. I did. I was like, okay, you know what? This action's pretty good. I like the Ferris wheel scene. I know, Evan, I know you didn't like it, but you know what? It was stuntmen jumping on stuff. It wasn't CGI. It wasn't all green screen. Obviously, there's like 1 or 2 shots where like Eddie Murphy's like maybe hanging out. Okay, that's fine. I get it. It's a time. But overall, like it's stuntmen doing stunt stuff. It's people falling off and then they crashing down. And I think the only thing John Landis did well in this was the action scenes. I actually gave it a 4. And it's not an ironic or fun. I think
even like that stupid gun at the end, the fake.
Oh, the
toy gun.
Annihilator.
Oh, the one that Surge had, the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was for comedy, but it was like it had an explosion and like, I mean, it was a joke. So for me, it was a joke with a big bang, and I was like, you know what? It's stupid, but on the whole, I actually thought it was quite good. So it's like probably the only thing I loved in this, not loved, but really enjoyed. I thought it was good. I gave it a 4.
Man, interesting. This is a very turn of events here. Very turn of events. Well, I will say this though. While I don't agree with Evan on the 1, I don't think it's a 1. The funny thing is John Landis is really good at when it comes to his directing, good with the action, but for himself. Because when he did Blues Brothers, he was very well known with the car chases. I mean, that whole movie was a car chase. So when he did the car chase here, I was like, how can he do that? I thought the car chase was very well done, even when the car was falling apart, which was funny because it was in a cop shop. So I thought that was really funny. But I agree with Evan, like he's getting shot up and it was going through so I totally get it. But on the other hand, I thought the action was actually really good. The beginning sequence was pretty good when he was like, man, I got a Plymouth out here and we got to get it chopped up, man. You know what I'm talking about? I thought that was funny. And then they started shooting him. And then from there on, I kind of liked the action. I did not like the Ferris wheel as much as Nate did. But I thought it was serviceable because how he's going to get out of the theme park. Like he needed, something spectacular had to happen for him to be like the hero. But I thought that was funny. I literally thought the gun that Serge gave him was mad funny because I thought it was going to save him the day.
Just the radio.
Yeah, and he just kept doing everything. Like he shot the net. I thought that was funny. And he kept ducking and then he was shooting him back and he kept coming with something stupid. I thought that was funny.
But do you feel it matches the tone from the first, that's what I'm,
well, the thing is,
I'm looking at it.
I think you're looking at it in terms of the tone of the franchise as one. You got to remember, each of those films were directed by different people. Tony Scott is the best one out of the 3. John Landis, John Landis is known for comedy and horror. He's now doing an action movie, which doesn't even fit in his even thing. Like, even if you look at it, and you could see even during this movie, he's not known for action. And you could see he had troubles in certain scenes in this movie. Whereas Tony Scott, he handled it perfect. I still think Beverly Hills Cop 2 out of the 3 is the best one. I enjoyed it for what it is. And it felt like an action movie. Well, 3, I got to say, it does have the action, but not as polished. More goofy because of the comedy aspect what John Landis is known for. That's what you got in Beverly Hills Cop. And I totally get what you mean, Evan. I do see it. But at the end of the day, this is an action podcast. And I have to sit there and go, is this action enough for everyone? While I do agree with Nate as a 4, but I gave it a 3 due to this is not John Landis' strength, but he did put one of his strengths, which was comedy, and was his driving chase sequences, and it did work in the movie, the chasing.
I would say it was almost surprisingly good, considering it was John Landis.
Well, it's the same thing with Jason Reitman, right? Like, Jason Reitman never did car chase or nothing.
Like dramedies.
Yeah, and he did Ghostbusters Afterlife, and that opening sequence with Egon was like one of the best sequences. I was like, holy crap. But anyway, Evan, what do you guys say?
Well, I was going to say, I totally forgot because I was just really like, for me, it was the car scene was like this reality because it was a gimmick. It was a joke and not an action scene. And so that's where I'm like, what are we going for? Are we going? Because I do agree the beginning part, the action shot, that was good. So that was the best action for the whole movie because out of nowhere else and stuff. And so I might be a little too harsh, but I'm having a hard time because I'm watching them back to back and looking at them critically. And this one just didn't, where I felt the first 2 had the action comedy balance. Yeah. This has the comedy action balance. Like it's not doing, it didn't do it for me. Like I want to go back and give a higher score for Tony Scott because of what I saw this.
In comparison.
Yes.
See, and that's what happens when you get a director that's known in that genre. Yeah. You see how, I mean, you could totally see that Eddie Murphy and John Landis was not clicking because there's a lot of scenes that he just looks just doesn't look right. But it happens.
And you know what? At the same token, maybe I gave it too high, but I liked it. And it could be because everything else sucks.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, hey, at least this is good. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, well.
And I also maybe had to die a little inside because I remember that Kun scene being much cooler as a kid. Yeah. And then when I saw it, I'm like, that's a toy. Why did I ever think that was cool?
All right. Well, with that said, those action sequences. Now let's get to where I bet everyone's going to be the same score. Storyline, Nate. What you got?
Hey, you know what? You never know. Okay, now this movie was written by Stephen E. D'Souza. Now, if I just say that name, it may not sound familiar to some people, but I'm going to tell you guys some movies here, okay? I'm going to list some movies. You tell me,
yay or nay,
pretty good or not good, okay? He also wrote 48 Hours.
That's a good one.
He also wrote Commando.
Oh, that's an excellent one.
He also wrote The Running Man.
Oh, that's a good one.
He wrote Die Hard.
Wow.
He wrote Die Hard 2.
Okay.
Did he do these by himself or did he have a co-writer?
No, wrote these. He's the writer for all these movies.
Okay.
Then he wrote this movie. He also wrote Golden Raspberry Winner for Hudson Hawk.
That's a good movie.
Bruce Willis. He wrote The Flintstones.
I like The Flintstones.
Street Fighter.
Oh, oof.
Judge Dredd.
I like Judge Dredd.
Turbulence.
Never seen that.
Knockoff.
I don't.
Tomb Raider, the second one where she punches
Cradle
the
of
shark.
Life?
Yes, Cradle of Life.
I like
is Knockoff the Jean-Claude Van Damme?
It is the
Dennis
Jean-Claude
Rodman?
Van Damme. That is correct. So this is what he wrote. So it's not like we're dealing with a non-action guy. Here's the problem. He's a non-comedy guy. This movie's not funny at all. It's 0 times. I didn't laugh once. Alex, you mentioned it at the top when you were like trying to think of something that Eddie Murphy did. Even beyond him, even my man Serge, who made me laugh in the first movie.
Well.
Horrible cameo. It sounded different. He didn't even have the same accent, really. I feel like Bronson Pinchot forgot like how he sounded. Like he forgot what he did. And it was so long. Like it's dragged out. And they just try to get him to say as many words as possible. And then they try to redo the joke from the first one. I cannot get out of here. It's like, okay, that was only funny in that first movie, the first 2 times. So bad comedy, not funny. This movie's not even set in Beverly Hills. It's set at a theme park that's outside of the Green Line. The whole Green Line thing, it's just like, man, this joke is played out. It wasn't funny the first time. It's not funny the 10th time when he's trying to explain his job with all the letters. You know what? That was the only part that made me laugh. When he says his job title, then Eddie Murphy repeats it back and just says like, oh, there's something to do, whatever. I chuckled. That was it. Bad villain, bad setting, 1 for me. A very badly written movie as compared to the first 2, especially on the comedy front. He's not funny at all.
All right, Evan, what you got?
I loved it. I gave it a 5. No, just joking.
I was going to say Scott would just say
better not.
That's a Scott move right there.
Mute him.
I knew I was hating it when the Chop Shop people opened their gun cases or their briefcases, and it says Wally World right there. What are criminals? What are they doing? Like, this storyline doesn't make sense. Like, our great detective that's only good in LA, right? Doesn't need to do any detective work. These criminals are dumb. The storyline's dumb. I don't like anything about it. Besides the kind of nods and jokes to, like, the theme park world that I do love, like, and seeing some of the cameos. But like I said, I don't know why. Why is he making money? Is he trying to, like... There's so many questions of what we're doing. I feel like we're in the beginning of a like syndicate crime thing. Like they're trying to figure it out, but that's not well explained. And who's really a bad guy? And then when we got revealed who other bad guys were is such a terrible thing. I'm with Nate on this. It's a 1 for me.
You know what? We're going to continue going with that. Passing the baton. I gave this a 1 also. The movie was not fun. I was like, this is crap. Even on this rewatch, halfway through, I was like, man, this movie still didn't age well. Like, it's just not good. You could totally see, like, most of the characters didn't care at all. Some scenes were fun, like, not funny, like, ha-ha, but I thought it was kind of chuckle laugh, like, in the beginning when the sergeant, his main boss comes in and he's like, well, it's a good thing you brought SWAT. He goes, I told them not to come. And he's like, what? Why would you do that? And when they're getting shot up, he goes, man, I should have called SWAT. Yeah. Like, that was fun. But other than that, it was nothing that could save this movie at all. It was just so bad from the beginning. Now, I could say this. The script, let's just say it's the same script. And let's say Tony Scott took it and returned. I guarantee you 80% of the movie would have been fun to watch. Why? Because Tony Scott would have changed a lot of the landscape. I think because of John Landis's background, this is the reason why Beverly Hills Cop 3 tonally feels different from the first two movies. So I think so. Like if you would have took this script and you would have gave it to Tony Scott, I guarantee you would have been a two different movie. You would have been like, really? Like we're watching the same thing? Like I totally feel like that because all the movies Nate named,
the straight action movies are good.
It is.
Yeah. And the thing is, the first two, even though I think Nate said he didn't enjoy the music, the first two like had a better soundtrack, and we get Wally World theme song.
Yeah.
That's what we get. Like there's no like I was just sitting here, there's no memorable that drove like some of these scenes that were kind of lame in the first two.
Yeah.
But the music made it better. You don't have that at all. Like I can't even remember the song that was playing. Was there a song playing during the Ferris wheel? Whatever.
No, it was
like standard music.
Yeah.
Theme park. I think that's what we got. Mostly just theme park
and ambient
background
noises.
music. Yes.
Yeah.
So they even took the do and made it worse.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
that music they added to it and made it worse.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, so I personally believed if Tony Scott got the hands of this, or even any other action director got their hands on this version of Beverly, I think it would have been totally different and maybe better than what we got from John Landis. Again, it all comes down to the director's style and whatever. So again, it's a 1 for me, 1 across the board here. All right, guys, what do you think of overall? What do you got, Nate?
1. I know I gave the action a 4, and so you thought maybe I'll give it a 2 or something. Nope. I think the action, I do think it's good. I also think it's elevated by the rest of the movie being bad. Not funny, bad performances. Even like Judge Reinhold seems like, he doesn't even seem like the same character from the first two movies. Yeah. You know what I mean? I like Hector Elizondo as an actor, like as a replacement for Taggart. Okay, sure. He's okay. And like John Saxon, like there's some good actors in this, but ultimately unfulfilling, and I could see why people hate it. I agree with your point. I think the problem with John Landis is he's more so known for comedy, and so his directing leans more into the comedy. But when the comedy's not funny, you're stuck with just these like scenes that drag out for a long time. You're not, when it gets to the action, it's pretty good. And it's written by a guy who is an action movie writer, essentially. So I do think a different director might have dialed back some of those comedic scenes and maybe said, let's focus more on what I can do well. Whereas John Landis thinking, well, what I do well is comedy, but this movie's not funny. So it was kind of a lose-lose. I think it's a horrible like writer-director combo. And no Jerry Bruckheimer, like all that matters. Those producers know certain things for blockbuster, big budget filmmaking. They're not involved. It was kind of a cluster. I'm surprised I agreed with everyone. Like, I think it's very bad. I don't think it's a very good movie at all. So,
well, one thing that you said, though, that actually makes sense is the fact that even as a comedy film or whatever, Eddie Murphy didn't give his talent. So there has to, like Evan said, like if there was backlash between director and actor, you could totally see it, because how can he do 100 times better in the sequel with an action director? Whereas now he's with a director that actually does comedy, and they're clashing all over the place. It tells, is out of maybe Eddie Murphy was ego driven maybe at that time, because maybe the second movie
he didn't want to do this movie, but he got paid a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll show up, but
yeah, so it could be like ego driven. It could be one of those things. But yeah, go ahead, Evan. What you got?
I gave it a 2. Just because I have good memories. I have the good stories with my dad. I have the Great America. It should be a 1, but I couldn't do it. I gave it a bonus point because of the memories it holds in my life. That's it. Nate's right. It's not a good movie. I have nothing to add, except for I have 2 good stories about it.
Should have gave it extra half a point for reminding me about Earthquake, because I like that.
Oh,
one.
Yes.
But I'm not.
I will say this. For you, I'll give it a 1 because it's a 1. This movie's god awful.
For you, I'll give it a 1.
It's a horrible movie. And it's crazy because this movie got a 4K. And I remember my wife was laughing because she goes, "Oh, you're going to buy it because you're OCD." And I was like, I'm never buying this movie. I'm never putting it in my 4K. And I never did. Not even on sale. I never purchased it because it's god awful. And I remember, I forgot who brought it, and they were bragging about it. Oh, I got Beverly Hills Cop 3. And I'm like, that's a piece of crap. Like, why would you even want to buy that? Like, I mean, I get it to complete the set, but
maybe it was our buddy Rob.
It could be. It could be Rob. I remember it was Rob. But I just don't like the movie. It's not funny. It's not memorable. No funny sequences. Like, even in the first two movies, kind of the same movies between 1 and 2, but tone different due to directors. But it was still funny moments. You had the beginning with the cigarette, when he's trying to steal the cigarette. Then the second one with the credit cards. Like, they didn't have that actual Foley-ness of him in this film. Like, there was no Detroit, him doing some type of undercover work, which is kind of funny. His partner wasn't even in this movie. What's his name?
Paul Reiser.
Yeah, Paul Reiser wasn't in this movie. The only one that returned.
He was mad about you. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, the stars did not align for this third movie. And I could say that this will fall under the movie sequels of part 3 in the garbage. Like, this does not go up there. So, all right. Total points around the board. Evan, what do you got?
I ended up with a 9.
Whoa. All right, Nate.
I also ended up with a 9.
Wow. I gave it an 8. All right.
Well, pretty close.
We're all pretty close. But at the end of the day.
It's hilarious. I was going to say that Nate and I, on our drastically different scoring, we end up with the same overall.
It's like,
I just want to
it's
say
like blackjack. You can hit 20 different ways in a card game.
Yeah.
He gave the action a 1. And I gave it a 4, and we still ended up both with a 9.
And that's how you know the movie is caca.
That's how you know it's bad.
Yes. So, again, and it's cool because you could see with the way we do it, you could see what we enjoyed, meaning like what we enjoyed from the movies, which is different between everybody. But yeah, at the end of the day, we all kind of agree this movie is doo-doo.
It's bad. Yeah.
It's a bad movie.
It's just as bad as everyone warned me about. That's for sure.
Well, with that said, Nate, what we got coming up next?
All right. So coming up next, continuing on, paired up with Eddie Murphy, we got these old comic book movies, serials, radio shows, TV shows, all these old properties. Next up is the Billy Zane starring The Phantom. That'll be the next one we're doing here. And then, of course, we will finally be wrapping up the Beverly Hills Cop series with Netflix. We don't do any Netflix movies, really. If it's not the first, it's one of the first that we've done, because I tend to just do theatrical releases. However, this is part of this franchise, and it happened to be a Netflix exclusive. So it will be Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. It's not even 4. It's just Axel F.
Yeah.
Not even Foley. So we will be doing that. I've never seen it, so it'll be a first time watch as well.
Thanks for hanging out with us on this Action Movie Guys podcast episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Geeks and Flicks, for reviews, unboxings, and more. And make sure to follow the podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. And remember, don't just watch movies, live the action.